Well, good morning. How are you all today? Welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I want to talk today about the escalations of war, the wars, both internal and external, and what you should probably think about doing about it. You might have heard that down in Dallas, an ICE facility came under attack, and talk about that. Going to talk a little bit about the international stuff too, because that is boiling up. Before we get to that, I want to remind you that our upcoming Stonemont Integrated Preparedness annual gathering, is coming up October 4th in Olathe, Kansas. Uh, Those of you who were there last year met a lot of great people, and you're going to meet a lot more great people this year. I'm looking forward to it so much. It's just a little over a week away. I can't wait for it. If you'd like to come, you need to register. It doesn't cost anything. Stonemont's paying for everything. We just need to know how much stuff to buy for you. Okay, so if you want to come, and Olathe is on the Kansas side of the Kansas City area. It's in a beautiful area. And if you're coming from out of town, make sure that you book your rooms in either Leawood, Overland Park, Olathe, or Lenexa, Kansas. Those are beautiful parts of the area, and they're safe. Stay out of Missouri. I love Missouri. I'm from Missouri, but you go into Missouri around here, and you're into Kansas City, and that's not a place you want to be. Okay, so register. Go to our website, stonemont.us, and you'll see several tabs up there. You'll see shop, where you can order books and stuff like that, mugs, and books, and then go to the events. Click on the events. That'll give you all the information, and it'll let you register. Let us know who you're bringing. We have some people bringing their kids. I think that's great. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a day of fellowshipping and just getting to know each other. We're going to have raffles. We're going to have all sorts of stuff. It's going to be great. Okay. So I just heard, and you probably heard too, that an ICE facility in Dallas came under fire. Oh, they're calling him a sniper. Let's call him a shooter. Fired upon an ICE facility while apparently some detainees were being let in. Evidently, this is a processing center, and realize that first information is not necessarily correct. These things evolve, and all the news crews are going to want to be first, and so they put out information as fast as they can, and sometimes it's right, sometimes it's not. So this will evolve, and right now I think they're saying that there are 3 dead, several injured. No ICE agents were hit, apparently, or injured. They're not saying when. This is from a DHS spokesperson. They're not saying whether any other local law enforcement was hit. That's not really the point, although our thoughts are with these people. But apparently, several detainees were killed, and then the shooter offed himself. So, why? I mean, you've heard me. If you've been with me before, you know that I've always said that people pay too much attention to the why. Every time there's a shooter, they're all wondering about the why. Well, the why usually boils down to anger or insanity. So pick one, right? There's no need to go beyond that, and including in this situation, except that it may be something to consider as to whether the detainees were the targets or the ICE officers, agents were the targets. Now, if they took out several detainees and they didn't take out any of the ICE officers, if the guy's a good shot, that tells me that they were trying to take out the detainees, which makes us think of one particular side. And then we have to go back that circuitous mind game of, okay, was this real, or was it a setup, or was it a false flag, or was this a misdirection, or what, right? Well, the shooter took himself out, as so often happens, so that they can't be questioned. But of course, they will be going back through, all of they'll be going through his electronics, they'll be going through his communications, they'll be going through, the last week, month of his life, and they will dribble out little bits of information depending on what they want us to know, which means what they want us to think. Okay. Okay, let's leave that there for just a second. Trump made his speech in at the UN yesterday. It was a speech, boy. It was a Trump speech. And did you see how they shut down the escalator right as he and Melania got on? I don't think that was a mistake at all. I think they were purposely jacking with him. I think it went off right as Melania and he got on the escalator, and I think they were showing him something. They were pissed at Trump. The United Nations, which is a commie organization. I said 25, 30 years ago, before Trump ever thought about running for office, I said they need to throw the United Nations out. We need to get out of the UN. They need to make those people pay all their parking tickets and throw them out of the country and give that building to Trump to turn into apartments. Who knows? That may still happen. But I think it's a commie organization, and always has been. It's worked against American interests. So I'm sure that they shut off just in hopes that it would make Trump or Melania stumble and get a photo op of them stumbling. Well, they didn't. How about that? And then, of course, when his microphone went off, or no, his not that. That was a different deal. His teleprompter wasn't working. You think that was by mistake? I don't at all. And then I just watched something this morning from the president of South Africa. And what's his name? Rapadapalapatuputa or something like that? I don't know. Whatever it is. Uh, here's the point that I should say. I don't mean any disrespect. I don't really, but I don't know what his name is, and these names just have too many syllables, and it's not my language. So, whoever he is, he's the president of South Africa, and he was making a statement, and all of a sudden his mic was cut when he was calling for an establishment of a state of Palestine. How about that? Let me take a sip from this beautiful. Did I show you this is the official mug for the upcoming second annual gathering. Those of you who are coming can order one of these at a reduced price because you'll order them through the website and pick them up at the event, so we don't have to pay postage and handling and everything like that. So we got the price down. You see it, Stonemont Integrative Preparedness, second annual gathering, Olathe, Kansas. On the back, it has our tagline: "Prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow." The Bible, axe, and rifles, the symbols of Stonemont, and then Semper Paratus, always ready. And you are a PMP. You're not a prepper. You're a preparedness-minded person. So that was a little commercial there. So, Trump, as they say, told him where the rabbit sat yesterday, and I fully expect, and he was pretty tough on, you never know, and I understand as well as anybody, because somebody's going to come on and make a comment, yeah, but this is just a way to, and then they will run with that. No, I'm fully aware of everything, so, he was pretty tough on Europe. He called them out on their uncontrolled immigration and Islamic expansion. I don't think he called it Islamic expansion, but we know that's where the danger is. It's not just immigrants, although some is, but the main danger is the spread of Islam throughout the West. Okay. So he called him out, and apparently he is, he's at least making noises that he's done with Putin, and all of that. So anyway, the point of these things is that because of the directions, the evidence, shall we say, let's make this evidence-based, okay? Because of the evidence, I am led to believe that both external conflicts and internal conflicts are going to increase. Simple as that, okay? Externally, it's been boiling over for a long time. Are we in the first steps of a world war? I don't know. Some people are saying that we are. Other people, are a little more circumspect. If it is it going to be a boots on the ground war in, again, the Middle East or Europe or, wherever? I know we've got guys in Ukraine. What's it going to be? Is it going to be a cyber war? Is it going to be a ballistic missile war? I don't know. I don't know, but I think that it's going to increase, and I think that China is going to get involved. I think we're going to be in it in Southeast Asia, and so we'll talk about preparing for that in just a second. Bringing it back to our country, the United States, or the same might apply to you Canucks up there and the Aussies and the Kiwis and all that. We're going to see this attack on the ice facility. And I heard him say that the spokesperson said that it was just a month ago today that there was a viable bomb threat at this same facility somewhere around Dallas. So we see, and I'll let me put another scoop on top of this Sunday here. After Charlie Kirk's assassination, we thought we had seen disgusting behavior before. But I think the behavior after that from the left, I mean, it exposes their evil. Okay, it exposes their evil. For anybody who didn't know, and I think this is going to serve to make a bunch of fence sitters say, "Oh, there is a difference between the two sides." You know how many people will say, and there's a lot of people in the preparedness world that are kind of like this, and it's only because they don't pay attention. But both sides are the same. Well, no, both sides are not the same. As a matter of fact, the sides are so far apart. There is no way that a thinking person can confuse them. I'll put it that way. But I think that the hate that has come out, I don't spend a lot of time online, believe it or not. But I have seen quite a few things that people send to me. And the hatred that's coming from the left over the Charlie Kirk situation is just, I won't say that it's beyond belief, because any of us who understand the evil that's in the world understand that this evil is here and the nature of evil. But it is beyond anything that we've seen before. I'll put it that way. It's beyond anything we've seen before, in my opinion, and in my lifetime. So we're seeing, the thing about that is that commies don't give up. Sometime ago, a couple of times, I've read the communist goals, the goals of the American Communist Party from back in the 1950s, and I read it out of the Naked Communist by Cleon Skousen. There are several Skousens. I always have to refer back and say, which Skousen was this? The Naked Communist. I'm not going to read it today, but that's a good one for you to see, because this is the playbook for the left. They don't give up, and violence is always their answer. Now, when you put those two things together, that violence is always their ultimate answer, and they never give up, you have the answer of what we're going to see in the future here in the United States, and that is an increasing escalation of violence. Is it going to manifest into a full-blown internal war, be that civil war or counterinsurgency or whatever? Impossible to know, and it doesn't matter exactly well, it can matter in some ways, but not for most of us, okay? It matters as to how it is addressed, how it's dealt with, and the spread of it. But for the average person, it doesn't really matter, because what matters is, while we have international instability, which could be causing problems in fuel, in trade, in economics, in a number of things, we're going to be, in my opinion, experiencing a dramatic increase over the next, I don't know, year, 2 years, 3 years, for as long as Republicans are holding the power. We're going to see an increase in violence here in our country. And that violence is not necessarily going to be restricted to ICE facilities or just burning down Portland or anything else. As they Two things, and here's something interesting with the commies. Two things will embolden them. Okay, success and failure. Now, when you get maniacs who are emboldened by both success and failure, there's no winning until you eliminate them. That's the only way you win against evil. You have to beat it. You can't deal with it. You can't reason with it. If you're coming to an agreement with evil, that makes you evil. Okay. There's no reasoning with evil. I could go down a long road on that, but I won't. So what we have is increased danger. How do you prepare for it? Simple. Increase your self-reliance. Okay. Now we're coming into a good time of year here. Food prices, depending on what happens, might start rising again. Okay. We're coming into a good time of year for that because when we're coming towards Thanksgiving and Christmas, most of the grocery stores will start putting on big sales of canned goods and mashed potato mix and dressing and a whole lot of things. They'll put on a lot of sales. If you're a little bit short and you're prepared and your food preps, use this time because it's not like everything's going to explode tomorrow. This is going to be this is going to be step by step by step by step as it increases. So, I'm not saying that you got to do it by tomorrow, but take the money that you have and increase your food supplies. Become as close to self-reliant as you can possibly be. That doesn't necessarily mean, in this case, to be isolated. And in many cases, that can be, well, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Okay. But I don't see this as one to where I would say, sell your house in the suburbs and move to the country. That's really not what we're going to be dealing with here. We will see whether these attacks escalate from simply anti-ICE or anti-police or whatever, and if they go more into the civilian population, that'll show us something. I don't see radical Islam as being the problem at this point because Islam is winning without violence in the United States. Okay. It was winning without violence in the UK and many other places, and it's only recently that the native population has risen up and started coming back at it. And then we will see what happens. But right now, because Islam seems to be winning in the United States without violence, they're not, at least their leadership is not going to allow them to do anything that would set the American people against them. Okay. They're coming in, it's still the velvet glove. They're coming in nice and nice and nice and nice. Of course, if you listen to people like Ilhan Omar and all that, you will see the hatred in them. But most people don't. So anyway, I think that the increased violence here is going to increase step by step by step. And whether it comes into the civilian population anytime soon, impossible to know. But because of that increased internal violence and because of the world stability, you need to up your preparedness. Now, some of you are set. Some of you don't need to do a thing, right? But I'm talking now to the ones who may not be exactly where they want to be. And we're coming into a winter. And I've always said that winter is the most dangerous time because if somebody wanted our grid to go down, here in about a month or two is the time that I would make it go down, right? We're getting into the colder months, more difficult to heat your house, you're not growing food, whatever. So wintertime is always the most dangerous. Now, how do you prepare for it? This would probably be a good time for me to slip in what I always say. How do you prepare completely? Well, might I suggest, if you haven't read them yet, you read this series of books, my books, the Stone Mount series, The Reversion, the Revival, The Renewal, and Appeal to Heaven, The Blessings of Freedom, Hostages to Fortune, and On Wings Like Eagles. I call it the complete plan for preparing for, surviving, and rebuilding after a total collapse of everything. And even though we may not be going towards a total collapse of everything, this is about a CME that takes out everything. All the lessons in these books will serve you well and are best applied in getting you ready to be as self-reliant and self-sustaining as you can possibly be. Okay, it's a great series of 7 novels. It's a great story packed with preparedness and survival lessons. You will, if you haven't read them, you will be surprised at how much you learn while enjoying the story. I say that because people have told me that for years and years. First one came out, the reversion came out in 2017. And people have been learning from these and enjoying the story ever since. If you haven't read them, you can get them through Amazon, the link's down below, or you can get them a better way, the way that I love you to give them, and that's directly from me. Because if you order them from me directly through our website, stonemont.us, that link is also down below. I sign each one for you. I write a note in each one for you. And then we can also, when you order them as a set, you can't do that through Amazon. You can do it through the website. Then we're able to give it to you at a little bit of a discount because we save on packaging and handling and postage and everything like that, right? Plus, I toss in from me to you the Stonemont notebook. That is if you want to know how to be completely self-reliant, this will tell you. This will explain everything. You follow everything in these, and all of a sudden you'll wake up one day and say, wow, I don't need the rest of the world. Now, how good would that be, right? How good would that feel? Pretty good, right? Okay. So get them. If you haven't read them, you'll love them and you'll learn a lot. Amazon or through our website, stonemont.us. So what's going to happen, none of us can, I can't see into the future any more than you can. But I do know that I see all the signs and all the evidence that violence is going to be increasing here in our country. That's our primary concern, our primary consideration. What happens around the world is going to happen. You can't affect that. And to the extent that there may be attacks against us, be it nuclear, which I doubt, or cyber, which I wouldn't doubt, you can't control that. You can control, except through, how you prepare to weather the storm. But you can do something about preparing yourself to defend against the increasing violence here. So you know what I mean by that, right? I said the other day that as much as I like 1911s, I'm going to a higher capacity tool. Because if stuff breaks out, I want as much on board as possible immediately. I don't want to have to reload. And so get ready. Keep abreast of what's going on. Keep your eyes open, your ears open. Realize that you're responsible for your safety and security. Nobody else is. You are. You're responsible for your security and safety and the security and safety of those who depend on you. And it's a responsibility. It is the responsibility of preparedness, right? Because we don't approach this through fear. We approach it through a proper sense of responsibility. So that's it for today. I've got a lot of stuff to do. We're shipping out a whole bunch of mugs today. A lot of you have ordered a lot of our mugs. It's great. One of our, I don't have them here, so I won't show you, and I just thought about this, but one of our biggest sellers is our scripture set. We have a scripture set that is just beautiful. And if you're interested in that, go to the website, stonemont.us. You'll see them there, okay? So be prepared. Pay attention to what's going on. Things could get pretty dicey here in the near future, and we will see. Okay, all right. And for those of you joining us at the upcoming gathering, October 4th, can't wait to see you. It's going to be a great day, a great time. And until the next time, remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. So get out there and do something. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Be prepared. All right. You all have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.